All right, quickly what I've done here is I have taken two scanners. This is a RadioShack Pro-2036, and I've combined together into one. It used to be two scanners, and I have all the accompanying parts to this. The only thing that was missing on one of these was about, 8 screws. So I put all the nearly 24 screws back on the one that's operating. The one that's operating used to have a faceplate that did not have a backlight display, and all I did was take the screws out and disconnect the ribbon cables. Swapped them into this case. This one now has the tone decoder board that used to sit right here, and that was just 2 cables here and here, and 1 screw that mounts it from the back. Pretty much it. The other goal was, I think, that there's a memory battery in here behind the faceplate for both. That would be right there. You see the button cell right there. Then you have 1, 2, 3 cables, or ribbon cables. Then you have these 2. I believe this is for the line-in and external speaker plug. This is for the squelch on top, volume on-off power on the bottom. That's for these. For this particular one, I'm not sure if it's dead LEDs or if it's another component in here that looks very difficult. I don't know how easy or difficult it would be to replace these. That's why I just changed out the whole thing, because everything I had problems with was the backlight display and the dead memory battery, which can be easily replaced, as we all know, and if you don't, there is a replacement kit for that. But I decided to go ahead and just switch the plates. I was listening to this ham radio repeater in a conversation earlier. It was easier.
70%. Keep index values up to 140.
And the other thing that was wrong with this board was the internal speaker plug on the back side It was just a broken solder joint. I think that's it right there. Nope, that's not it. It's it right here. And I didn't think it was worth the time to just heat the iron to reset those solder joints. I'll probably be back in there again anyways later, but as you can tell, it works the way I want it to. Backlight display. Let's see here. I don't know that. I think I can. It still does its job nicely, I think. So I just got to take the time to reprogram it. It's only 200 channels. Yes, it's been that long since I've played with this. But I know what I want to put into it. I kept a record of what was in there before I did all this, and this was many months ago. But I finally took the time to go ahead and disassemble and reassemble the way I wanted it to. I've still got most of the original parts that it came, with these 2 units, and just consolidated screws into this. I actually got the case almost all the way back on before I realized that the 4 little screws that hold the faceplate on weren't installed, and this goes to the other one. But as an example, those 4 silver screws will hold the faceplate on. I forgot to put those on that one, but I took the, it was only 8 screws. I got almost 10 on there until I realized that I'd forgotten those. But reattached this. The ribbons were kind of easy. The hardest part is the brown clips here. These are fairly easy to put in. It's just resecuring those and snapping it back in place so that it maintains contact, basically. But this is, a very straightforward, easy scanner, except for all the moving components and parts in a VCR or DVD player. This is pretty much similar to me. You just got a bunch of case screws and a few plugs and ribbon cables, and that's about it. I think it's really neat. It's going to be a useful device again. I'll reassemble that one on the left and put it all back together so I don't lose any more screws. Like I said, I think this one came short 8 screws, and this one had all the screws, and neither of them have the feet, but this one has the screws for the feet, so they go right back in there so I don't lose those screws. Handy to have the extra radio for the quick swap out for the parts. Hopefully this won't have the same power issues that this one has. This one can run for days, and then it will just fade out and quit. And sometimes it'll run for an hour, and then it'll fade out and quit. And turn it on, and immediately just go right out. The display will, all the LCD crystals disappear. This seems to have done it once, I think, which was kind of disappointing, but now it's working. It's all there. And, maybe it won't have the same power struggle as this one has. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see and just test it out on the workbench, which will be over here on the shelf in the cubby hole with all the other radios. But it took about 30 minutes to do, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And probably around 30 minutes reassembling the other side of that, or the other radio here. It's probably just a 5-minute job or less to just put in, half a dozen screws. What's left? It's not too difficult, but it's pretty handy. It's good to understand some of this, have enough knowledge to disassemble and reassemble. As long as there's no major component failure, which looks like it's the case for this one, it should work fine. But if it fails again, I'm going to look back at this, probably change the memory battery. I think it may have some clockwork issues, meaning if it doesn't have enough battery power to run the clocks, it's just not going to work. And, it may not be a power issue at 12 volts as far as that goes. It might be just something as simple as they not have enough energy to think. A lot of computers and chips think it's not going to work. And that's usually, as my understanding is, it's a power issue. And it's not normally at the power supply, although it can be. I haven't gone up yet to investigate that. It's so much surface technology in here. It's going to be kind of hard anyways, but I think some of these IC chips aren't too bad. They look for something like anything else. You probably have between 8 and 16 places to go through there and unsolder and resolder. But yeah, relatively easy stuff. Fairly confident now. But it works. It's going to be more testing.